great shot here at US Bank Stadium, located in downtown Minneapolis. Tonight's a fun one on tap for us. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. Ready to get this game started. Here's Evan McPherson. And off we go from Minneapolis. On the return, here's Miles Price. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. First carry here for Aaron Jones. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up. Went for that big shot. They wanted to get that highlight the first time they touched the football.
Yeah, this group likes to be aggressive. An early incompletion's not going to deter them. Sharpshooters, they don't stop shooting threes because of one brick, and they won't stop pushing this ball down the field either.
McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. He's going for it himself. And he's brought down after a short gain.
That's such a bummer, Kate, for a quarterback. If you have to scramble and take off, you'd really like to find a way to move the chains. He could not. That defense rallied, they responded, and they forced a 4th down.
Now we'll see Ryan Wright come on for the Vikings to punt this away on 4th. Looking to return from the 29. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. First play, they go quick out to the left, complete. And he's going to be brought down at the 42.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Burrow out of the shotgun. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And they've got to him just a step or two before he can reach the 40 as he's sent out. The big play nets him 17 yards. And the Bengals have a 1st down.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. Play action now, Burrow. Thrown for his running back, but he comes up empty, incomplete, and now they're facing 3rd down.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. They'll air it out on 3rd. It's caught. Chase has it. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs. Well, when your opponent fails to act, Brock, you want to capitalize, right? And they are moving like a team ready to provide us with our first point to this game.
Yeah, pretty lackluster start there, Kate, from their opponents. You got a golden opportunity to immediately take control as they convert to stay on the field.
On 1st down, here's Burrow. Completed over the middle. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Hey, you like these results on 1st. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on 2nd down. That playbook wide open.
Offensive line, this is 2nd and 4. To the air again, It's Burrow. Escapes the pocket. Has room into the secondary. And they're going to be set up with first and goal as this goes out of bounds, Brock, at the 3-yard line.
That's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a first down. That's a big bonus for the quarterback.
First and goal, they're hoping for an opening drive touchdown. Brown. So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. Second and goal coming up. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gets more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
Looking for an open man to the end zone, but incomplete. That play is going to force third and goal.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball, and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
Defense bringing in a 5th DB, third and goal. From the gun on third down, it's Burrow. He's got it. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
All right, so they're going for this. I like this being aggressive from the get-go on their opening drive. Here we go with Brown. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Bengals have a great first drive and get the game's first points. Once it became goal-to-goal, Brock, that field goal team just didn't feel like they were ever going to see the field. This team was committed to making a statement on the opening series, even if it meant leaving the offense out there on 4th and goal.
Yeah, I think that's really well said, Kate, for a couple reasons. Number one, you do get a chance to finish, right? So you do all this work to get there, you want to finish it. You also know if you don't get it, so you set your opponent up with some really bad field position. I love that decision.
McPherson on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Price. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Minnesota all set to go for its second drive. And they haven't gotten very far into their opening script yet, have they? Just a 3 and out to begin this game. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. Starting the drive with a give to Jones. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
At the 29-yard line.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on second down. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Completed right side to Addison. Gain of about 8 here. Nice pickup, but he stopped a second before he can move those chains.
Okay, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes, just like that.
And they're going to down him by contact as they've got enough for a new set of downs.
It's a gain of 2.
Kate, is there a simpler play in football that's come to life more than the QB sneak? We see all different varieties now, but it has become so darn effective. And when you got a tough QB that wants to put it on his shoulders, you sign up for it.
1st and 10, here's Jones. Winning there full steam ahead, but he ran out of steam pretty quickly. No gain on that one.
These stops, they don't always make the end-of-game highlight reels, but they absolutely should. The coaches and players know it. Offenses are always counting on yards on that type of run. And anytime it results in a loss, it could be a potential drive killer.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
No connection on the last play. Now it's third down. Third and long. They're going to throw. Finds him over the middle. And they get this down to the 44 before he stops. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Vikings are going to have a first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Off play action. It's McCarthy. Trouble brewing, and the Bengals bring him down. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
McCarthy throwing here. Running a screen now for Jones. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40.
We've heard it said, and I believe it to my core. Football is the ultimate team sport. And a well-run screen like that is the ultimate team play because it takes all 11 doing their job.
Ninth play of the drive coming up. They need 8 yards here on third down. Third and long for him here. That one's caught by Jefferson. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets it down to the 14. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains. There wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
At the 14-yard line.
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, a gift to Jones. Robbed by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday. But doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Jones wants more. And this will only complicate matters for third down, partner. They're sent backwards.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
So before they get the snap away, we reach the end of the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. We're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They'll need a big play to continue a nice drive. It's third and very long. That's caught. This is Addison. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings start to fight back with their first points of this game. Jordan Addison, the touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. He sure did.
Tying this game up, they're all set to center away. Here's Charlie Jones with the return. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Cincinnati heading back out for its second drive now. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3 and out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building. kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now second down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. In motion, the slot man right. They give on second. It's Brown. Ran into it all that time. A couple of guys able to hold him right at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down now.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, and they got to tackle behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
3rd down, line to gain 9 yards out. Here he goes, 3rd and long. This connects with Higgins. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. The end result there, 15 yards and a first. And that right there is about the best you could hope for against double coverage. Good chunky yards, and more importantly, Brock, you don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and 2 guys can't stop 1.
1st and 10 now. Here's Burrow. Setting up the running back screen. And they will stop him as he gets this down to their 39-yard line. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
Got to be a pretty good actor. Got to be pretty good at selling to that defense. So that's a drop back pass. When you get a big play on the screen like that, boy, it's choreography by everybody on that offense.
The 1st down carry for Brown. It's a nice running there on that 7-yard gain. Make it 2nd down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
7 yards on that last play, so this is 2nd and 3. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals take a 2nd quarter lead. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even in early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
That one right down the middle. And the Bengals break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Price. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Vikings taking the field on offense. It's a touchdown ball game right now, Brock. 14-7 as they start this possession. Minnesota into formation. It's 1st and 10. They send a receiver in motion right. They'll start with a give to Jones. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. Staying on the ground with Jones. They stuck with him and got the same results. He is stopped at the line once again to quickly bring up 3rd down.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back sorry. We did not give you any chance.
Digging deep in the playbook here, and this is 3rd and 11. Throw here, 3rd down. They set up the screen. It's Hopkinson. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
Those little short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter. But they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
Ryan Wright on to punt. And And he'll try to hit this one well. The fair catch taken in at the 28-yard line. The Cincinnati offense headed out now. They have played lights out on offense. Scored their first 2 times out, Brock. A chance to go 3 for 3 and grow that lead here. First call here coming from the shotgun. Here's Brown to start the drive. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock, here who got to have short memories. You tell me this too, defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
Burrow from the gun. Gets him on the quick hitter. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped.
Looking up 6 yards. And it's third down.
Third and 6 for them to figure out now. No throw, third and long. That's caught for the first. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And a fresh set of downs for Cincinnati. Double coverage deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's target you trust.
You know, it's interesting, Kate, even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done regardless.
And a nice little run there gets him 5. Second down upcoming.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
First down run gets him 6, so now it is 2nd and 4. Here's Brown again. And he takes it down to the 33. They gain 11 on that play, and the Bengals have a first down.
That's good.
Danger, I say. You get this guy in the open field, and he is dangerous to take it to the house.
First down now, ball at the 33. Burrow out of the shotgun. Short pass brought in. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
That's not a big completion on a stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call a gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
2nd and 3 now. Burrow to the air now. Underneath it goes. Catch made by the running back. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
So a new set of downs. Here we go, 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Cut out left. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. To throw again, it's Burrow. Oh, he's got it, it's in close. And he goes down, so they're set up with a nice 1st and goal as we've reached our 2-minute warning.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest. It gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Breaking the huddle, here's 1st and goal. Sticking in the air, and it's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals grow their lead just before halftime.
Touchdown, Bengals.
Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
That one splits the uprights. And the Bengals double their lead to 14. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff.
Kickoff for Cincinnati.
Ty Felton here to return it. He dodged the tackle. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Jordan Addison, the intended target. And it sets up 2nd down.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far. Well, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Ball still on that 29-yard line as they come up to it. 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Jefferson brings it in on the slant. And they're going to have this up at the 44-yard line as they haul him down. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. 1st and 10. Here's McCarthy. Completed over the middle. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Minnesota spends its 2nd time out here. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half.
On the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 46-yard line.
Only need the smallest little bit of yardage here. It is 2nd and inches. Again, McCarthy to throw. Lockett isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
I can remember situations like that, Kate. Playing quarterback and you take a sack on 2nd and inches. As you're picking yourself up, this is where you got to self-talk. Or I got to make up for it. Got to make up for it. I took a sack where I should have never taken a sack. Now I got to make up for it on 3rd down.
McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. And now a 4th down staring right at him.
That one really stings, Kate, because you want to convert there and not only keep this drive going for points, but because now you're giving your opponent a chance to go pad that lead before halftime. That's a no-no.
And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And he can't find anything as he goes out of bounds. Nothing on that return. The Bengals with 1 final possession now in our opening half. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone. But through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
On 1st down, here's Burrow. He's got Brown on the slant. And they take him down at the 24-yard line.
Translatable skills. That's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
He'll throw it. All in left side. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. On the return, here's Jones. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Here comes the Cincinnati offense for the first drive of our second half. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this third quarter. Bengals getting set, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Starting the half with a give to Brown. And he manages 6 yards to begin this one. We've got 2nd and 4.
The cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity to play, but whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. Burrow. Has it downfield. It's Chase. And he's going to just get this across midfield before he's taken out of bounds. Give him 24 yards on that one. And a fresh set of downs for Cincinnati. Kevin O'Connell not happy with the officials at the moment. The challenge flag is out. The Vikings into the nickel for this 3rd down play. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Burrow. That's complete to Gesicki outright. We got the football caught, but not the first. That stopped just shy of the marker, 4th down.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL. Everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
And he's just going to fair catch that one at the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. And as they get set, partner, gotta imagine they're bringing some urgency with them to the field this drive, too.
Yeah, I think you and I both know in calling these NFL games, that sense of urgency can be replaced by full-blown panic in a hurry. So find a way to possess the ball and, more importantly, score some points.
1st and 10. It's McCarthy. Bengals get to him and take him down. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Hey, I understand that call. You try to get play action to get away from the rush. The problem is this defense has just been relentless.
Gonna need something special here. 2nd and 20 following the sack. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. They send the tight end in motion left. Here he goes, 3rd and long. And that one hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on 3rd down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. 4th down coming up.
You never, ever, as an offense, like 3 and outs, Kate, but you really don't like them on 3rd down when you throw into tight coverage like that. Got to manufacture a better look.
The Vikings getting their punt team out. Ryan Wright's the one to send it away. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Cincinnati just about set for its next offensive possession. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Look at that power, deep left side. That's caught at the 25. And he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals keep their drive alive and reach pay dirt one play later.
I I know you got to mix your looks defensively. You just can't play all zone coverage, and sometimes you got to play man-to-man. But with a receiver with that kind of speed, that is scary, and he just made him pay.
Point after up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals stretch their lead to 21.
Vikings 7.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff.
Cincinnati.
On the return, here's Price. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. The Vikings now set to take the field. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. Jones trying the left side. And he's taken down just a couple of yards shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down in just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
New set of downs for him. They'll start at the 38. Slot receivers headed left. Throwing on first, it's McCarthy. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
As that pass falls to the ground, you kind of just sense their desperation, just kind of oozing out of them. Running out of time to start connecting on more of these, and really break open the scoring in a way they just have not been able to do so far.
After the incompletion, still at the 38, it's 2nd and 10. McCarthy throwing here. Couldn't bring it in over the middle, incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
3rd down and 10.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Throw here, 3rd down. Trouble brewing, and the Bengals bring him down. And their 4th sack of the game, Brock, brings up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
This overwhelming pressure and these sacks after sacks after sacks, well, it's built this lead, and you know it's the way they want to finish it.
Minnesota lined up in punt formation. And this is going to be his 4th effort tonight. Fair catch made a little beyond the 20-yard line. Out comes the offense for the Bengals. Well, Brock, it only took them 1 play to reach the end zone last drive. They might have to work a little bit harder this time out. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. From the gun, they get to Brown. Space on the right, he's got room. And they're going to have it all the way down to the 25.
What an injection of momentum for the offense on that play. With the energy boost and a much shorter field, I predict it's not going to be long, Kate, till they finish this series off.
Things looking totally different after that last play. It's 1st and 10 inside the opposing 30. Burrow gets it out wide quick. And they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's 2nd down.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, Burrow. Looking right, then he finds him. And we might be close to this lead growing again. That play gives him a 1st and goal.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Bengals 1st down. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. So much for finishing things on the ground, huh? He is stopped at the line. They're going to have to regroup now on 2nd and goal.
It's a loss of
The line between safeties and linebackers gets real blurred on plays like that, Brock. He handled that one just like a Mike would have.
Yeah, if injuries were to ever crop up, Kate, I bet he could handle the linebacker spot for them as well. Just tremendous diagnosis in that run support.
Burrow from the gun. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals can cruise to a win, growing that lead further. Well, as they drive forward to one right now, looks like it should be a win, Brock. He sure has taken advantage of a nice little chance to boost his stat line. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you just kind of feel these two building some trust, right? Just more and more equity. Certainly paying dividends in this one, but more than likely for more games to come.
That one right down the middle. And the Bengals continue piling onto this lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff.
Cincinnati.
Felton now to return this. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line.
Take over first
The
and
Vikings
10.
offense back to the field now.
26
And this certainly isn't the rut they want to be in, Brock. All of their drives have been ending in punts as of late. Minnesota into formation. It's 1st and 10. Play action, McCarthy. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play.
Just an incredible effort out of him today. And the type of performance, frankly, that elevates the energy level of all 10 guys around him. What a game he's got going.
Gonna need something special here. 2nd and 20 following the sack. Now it's McCarthy. Lasers this one deep down the middle. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown.
First thing you do as a quarterback, the first thing that you do when you get to the NFL level, if you haven't learned it earlier, is you scan those safeties. Do I got middle field open or close? Do I got a single high or too high? Is that post going to be available? Because if it is, big plays can follow.
That one splits the uprights. And the Vikings cut the lead by a quarter, down now to 21. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. On the return, here's Jones. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. And now here comes the Bengals on offense. And their offense has been playing at an extremely high level as this has become a runaway quickly. They've scored each of their last 2 times out. Cincinnati into formation. It's 1st and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. And he's going to be brought down up to the 28-yard line.
It's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in first down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Offense to line. This is 2nd and 4. They'll try it right with Brown. And this is headed the wrong way. They're going to lose yards here. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? It did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
Vikings sending out nickel coverage here on 3rd down. Third and long. throw. He's going to loft this deep down the left sideline. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
This defense, they had a plan, and they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
The Bengals send out the punting unit. It'll be Ryan Rico doing the honors. And that fair catch corralled just beyond the 25-yard line. The Vikings taking the field on offense. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. Motion man right is Jefferson. Here's McCarthy on 1st and 10. This one's to Hawkinson outright. Short pick up to their own 31. Stop made by Barrett Carter.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
2nd down now, 7 to go. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Has him on the quick hitter. And this one does not go far.
I'm not going to lie, I know they got a completion, and completions, you never turn them down. But to make that throw for those yards into double coverage, that is way too much risk for that reward.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That one's caught by Jefferson. And this will reach the red zone. He takes it down to the 17.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Back to the air, McCarthy. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
Right side. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3 to 4 point play. Right? When you don't have to settle for field goals, you could throw it underneath and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
Set to kick this away. Samaje Perine on the return. He lost the football, and they steal it back on the return. And they stop him before he gets much on the return. From the gun, Jones gets it. Well, he continues to find no traction on the ground here, Brock, as they bring him down for no gain.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Bengals' 22-yard line.
A very active quarter for us. Plenty of points in that frame as we reach the end of 3. It's Vikings football. They're down, but not out on the scoreboard. Back to the line they come, second down. Now McCarthy. Oh, look at this. Here he goes. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings now within one score in the fourth. J.J. McCarthy, the touchdown. Well, Brock, it looked like it took the full defense a while to recognize that he was actually running with it. I think it limited their ability to stop what turned into a pretty impressive touchdown.
I think you're exactly right on this one, Kate. Not too many scrambles go this far for a touchdown. You've got to give some credit to the guys around him. None of those receivers, tight ends, well, they just sold it. They didn't look back at him, had they? I think the defense is able to react and stop that touchdown. Instead, that's 6 big points on the board.
Just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. On the return, here's Jones. This makes it up to the 25. Here come the Bengals to take over once again. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to one score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. Bengals getting set, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Brown on the inside give. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down. After that drive starts, a very minimal gain.
26-yard line.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Here's Burrow. Finds him over the middle. And he is stopped as he reaches that 46-yard line. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
1st and 10 now from the 46. Straight ahead, it's Brown. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate. And that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Burrow to the air now. Dumped off to his running back. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. An even 10-yard gain on the play. And the Bengals have a 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
On the handoff, this is Brown. And this run is going to push him inside the 40. Give him 7 there.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
After that little 8-yard scoot, here comes 2nd and 2. Sending a tight end in motion left. Brown gets it again here on 2nd. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. It's a gain of 11 there. That picks up the 1st.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want in the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the gain they did.
All set now. 1st and 10. From the gun, P-Rod. He'll gain about 7 on this one as he gets him down into the red zone.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. The run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Nice run last play. Sets up 2nd and 2. Now a give. It's Brown headed right. And it's another 1st down on this drive. Man, this time they're into 1st and goal. Now one of the Vikings in some pain out there, so we'll get a stoppage here as he's helped by trainers. All set up for an insurance score here. It's first and goal. On the keeper, it's Burrow. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on first and goal.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the boot cave, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
It's Brown. And he's got them down to the doorstep inside the 5. Call it 5 yards on that play. He gets him to the 2, third and goal.
That's twice now where runs have not gotten them into the end zone, but you've kind of set yourself up. Actually, you've set yourself up really well for a little play action right here.
On third and goal, here's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals go up by 2 scores, 13 points in the 4th. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. It's plays like this that make him so well regarded across this league, Brock.
Yeah, such just a difference-making receiver, Kate. You expect him to be the target down here. You did, I did, the defenders did. But what makes him a star is even when people know his number's being called, he still finds a way to deliver.
That one right down the middle. And the Bengals double their lead to 14. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Felton now to return this. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. This could be the decisive drive. Down 2 scores late. They've got to find some points to get it back within 1. First call here coming from the shotgun. McCarthy to throw it. Able to find Hawkinson. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
First and 10, here's Jones. And he has this one past the 15. We'll start downhill into Bengals territory. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know, Kate, it's plays like that. It's just kind of the meat and potatoes. Not going to make any highlight reel, but just the positive, efficient plays on the ground. You need to keep plays and drives alive.
Motion man right is Jefferson. Off the play fake. It's McCarthy. Has the connection to Hawkinson. He goes out a little short of the 40. They get 6 and a first down as well.
Dude, I can promise you that's one of those play-action plays they've repped over the week during practice. The both quarterback and tight end went to bed last night thinking, man, I hope this one's called. And when it is, I hope we have just a little space to operate. That play-action works beautifully. And the tight end, the beneficiary.
Here's McCarthy, first and 10. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, so he's just going to hurl this one away. No luck finding his receiver that time. So second down coming up.
Kate, from my vantage point up here, that was pretty close to drawing a penalty flag. Risky decision on first down, but there was a target in the area, so thus, no penalty, and we move on to second.
Second down carry for Jones. And they're on him to send him out right before he gets to that 30-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And that That means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
First down.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that third down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
First and 10, here's McCarthy. Short pass brought in. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
Complete to Justin Jefferson. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 24-yard line.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Looking to throw, McCarthy. Completed over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the first down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
All right, they look set now. Here we go, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. Gets a little something out of it before sliding to a stop.
4 yards on the pickup.
That is quarterback play 101. Maybe not the first chapter of it, but man, is that important. Getting downfield, get what you can with your legs, then most importantly, protect yourself. Get down and don't take any extra contact.
Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find the throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
Third down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. We'll have the first down and even more. That's going to be an 8-yard gain, it looks like, as it puts them in goal to go.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
4 downs to get this across. Here's 1st and goal. Here's McCarthy to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Intended for Jordan
Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So now it'll be 2nd and goal. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
And he's only able to manage 1 yard, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Now to throw. And it's incomplete on 3rd and goal.
There's not a quarterback alive that enjoys throwing it away on 3rd down. But that's a good case right there of live to play another day. Live to play another series and don't put the ball in harm's way.
Field goal doesn't move that needle. They're going for the touchdown. It's 4th and goal. It's a designed run for him. And he's in for the touchdown. The Vikings now within 1 score in the 4th. J.J. McCarthy, the touchdown.
Oh, I love that QB draw down here. Risk, reward, and you know it as a quarterback. The minute you drop back and sell pass, whether you've got a lane to run, and he sure did.
The Vikings will line up for the 2-point
Setting up to pass. And he'll get into the end zone to make this a 1-score game in the 4th quarter. Well, not the way they drew it up, partner, but when it works, who cares? They didn't defend the check down throw, and it's open for 2.
I can still remember one of my first red zone days way back when. Touchdown to check down. Touchdown to check down. Now, I know it's not a touchdown, but this check down, well, it was a valuable 2 points.
So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. On the return, this is P-Rod. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Cincinnati offense headed out now. Their lead still more than a field goal. Thankfully, should the worst just happened, Brock, but obviously the goal here is to hang on to the ball and try to run this game out.
Yeah, the goal is to get to the best formation in the history of offensive football. The victory formation.
The victory formation.
That is all that you're thinking right now is just make these plays, run out this clock so we can take one more knee and celebrate.
Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. You can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. They're going to pass it here. He completes it in traffic. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. Minnesota spends its second time out here. And they'll have just one left to burn now. The Vikings into the nickel for this third down play. He's back to throw. He has the first over the middle, and he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Now the Vikings use their third and final timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. Drawing up the design keeper. So the Bengals take this one on the road. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And Kay, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know